a restaurant review, right? So there's
Oh,
an amazing number of food analogies. This really is also known as a conference summary because for the beginning of this week on the next slide, um, so I was in Santa Clara at this was the first instance of the Enterprise Connect AI conference, and it really was on Tuesday and Wednesday. I mean, because I'm from Toronto, I flew into Santa Clara on Monday, and Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I caught the red eye back on Wednesday night, so I got back to Toronto at 6:30 a.m. on Thursday. So it's been a long week, but this here's my review of this particular the conference. So we'll go to the next slide there, and okay, so this is sort of like reviewing my own restaurant, which isn't fair, but I got the opportunity to present this deep dive, which meant it was a 90-minute session. So that's a lot of content. But we had a lot of information. It was myself and Brent Kelly from Omdia. And I mean, Brent, both is a super intelligent guy and just a real pleasure. He's just a great person to work with. So we had a lot of fun with it. Maybe not as silly fun as the AI chefs, but I mean, but almost up there, David. I'm going to say maybe he may be a chef that we invite to the kitchen one day. But and we talked about AI-based personal assistance and really about what does the data show in terms of how do you get value and the use cases. So that was great to be able to do that. If you go to the next slide, there were some really great sponsors. Um, some of the people that you would see with Enterprise Connect, so a lot of the communication and collaboration vendors, Ring Central and WebEx were the diamond sponsors, but there was other, organizations like, that you may not be familiar with, like Sand Technologies or DeepGram or Atom.ai or Bruvetti, and my head is blocking, Trust.ai. Um, so it was a good collection of some people that I think you're familiar with and not. And so let's go and I'll give you kind of the final comments, right? So go to the next slide. So when the meal was done and the plate was empty, you can see there was just crumbs left. So it was a good meal. So if you go to the next slide, I'm just going to hit on a few things. So overall, I thought it was a great conference, and certainly, conferences that are starting, for the first time, you don't know how they're going to go. So um,
it's tough to
overall,
start a new conference.
it is, and there was a lot in March of this year. Enterprise Connect in Orlando at the Gaylord Palms, as always, um, had a lot about AI, but this expanded it, and I did think it brought some unique participants, and I thought it was really fantastic. You know, there was a really strong panel session on Tuesday morning that was moderated by Eric Kraft, and here's what I'm going to be honest: I am not a fan of panels. um, that saying, like, too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth. That, quite frankly, is my feeling with most panels because it's like, yeah, I agree, or the people say all the things. But this was really fusion cooking at its best because the people the panelists, there was like Costa Cledionis, who was but he was representing the San Francisco 49ers and talking about how AI is helping the fan experience and the on field experience. Gary Lasasso from Amicus Therapeutics, like they focus on making drugs for rare diseases. And then Cap LA from Aramark, who creates a lot of food services. So the great thing about it was it wasn't just like all communication and collaboration. It was like AI across a whole bunch of different perspectives. And it was fascinating for me. Like you go from sports to pharmaceutical to food services, and Aramark services a lot of colleges. And so you've got all these like different considerations. So that was really good. There was a really strong keynote from David Glick at Walmart, and what I loved about that was I loved how they describe, how David describes Walmart. A lot of people say, yeah, we're part of the Fortune 500. Like Walmart is Fortune 1, and so when you're Fortune 1, the scale and scope becomes incredibly important because some of these tools don't necessarily scale up to the scale of Walmart. So it was fascinating to hear David talk about buy versus build, and sometimes, build for them. If you're a small or medium-sized organization, you're not building all of these tools. But if you're Walmart, you kind of have different priorities. So it was very interesting to hear him explore kind of what they're doing with that, right? So there was some great session content. I mean, I can't call out all of it, but Robin Garris from Metrigy, I love Metrigy's approach because they always share a whole bunch of stats. Robin focuses on the contact center, so she, shared a lot of stats on AI agent use in the contact center, where it's working, where people are making money. Jim Lundy from Aragon Research, I thought had some really interesting, big perspective things, which so I enjoyed that session because I happened to go to one of his two sessions. And then there was a lot of the other BC strategies people, right? So you weren't there, David, but there was like Melissa Schwartz, Blair Pleasant, Beth English, Steve Layden, and although Jim Burton was there, which I was a very pleasant surprise. Jim didn't present any content, but he was there doing what Jim does best, which is kind of connecting up with people. So 100% overall, I am looking forward to Enterprise Connect AI in 2025. And before that, of course, there's Enterprise Connect coming in March of 2025. So, here's our restaurant conference review. It was smaller, more intimate, but that Enterprise Connect, which was a real positive, and overall, congratulations to Eric Kraft and his team for having a first, kind of inaugural conference out west. And there you go, Chef.
Five stars? 5-star review?
Yeah, let's say we'll give it four out of five, which is just because I'm a tough critic, right? So I mean, there was nothing wrong, but I just, like let's allow, I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with our own Michelin star thing. So that you kind of sprung that on me there, Chef David. But that's totally fair. So I'm gonna say 4 out of 5 because, we don't want to out of the gate just say like don't try to improve. But it was yeah, phenomenal
Oh, do you know
conference.
if the sessions were recorded? Because the people you mentioned, I want to see all of their sessions.
So I don't know the answer to that.
Okay,
Matt, one of the editors
we'll
from
find
No
out.
Jitter, was in my session, Brent and not my session, and he recorded it himself using Otter on his mobile device, and it was great because then he sent us the transcript. But I'm not sure if all the sessions recorded. See, that's why it gets 4 out of 5 sessions, or 4 out of 5 stars
They
because
would get another star if everything's recorded on video
yeah,
and live streamed and
well, I
up on their
know
YouTube channel.
100% it wasn't video, and so yes, if that's there, there you go, Eric. You did a great job, but you got 4 out of 5 stars in 2025. Shoot for the 5 out of 5 by recording all the sessions.
Everything on video.
There you go. Let's
All right,
do video, David.
let's do it.